to new year, so we might create a better place for all people. Make us instruments of your peace, to be neighbors across property lines, town and county lines, and political lines. When there is hatred, let us sow love, a love that sees the good in all people, and the possibilities of reconciliation. When there is fault, let us find pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is cynicism, oh God, let us find hope. Hope not couched in fantasy, but one that sees the value of caring for our community. Where there is darkness, let there be light. Where there is sadness, a joy found in belonging. O divine counselor, bless our leaders today. Council members Coen, Langer, and Range, Honahan, and Forte, Haralampoudis, our mayor, and our governor-elect. Allow them to be consolers of people who are in pain, to understand the struggle of the people they govern, and to love the people of our communities as their parents loved them. It is in the spirit of collegiality and creating your beloved community that we give thanks for leaders who take up the calling to care for all people. We offer this prayer to you today that your spirit might fill this chamber with excitement, with what can be created to do good within the community. In the work of your Holy Spirit we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting of the council was provided by transmitting a copy of the meeting notice to the Madison Eagle and the Morris County Daily Record, posting a copy on the bulletin board at the main entrance of Borough Hall, and filing a copy in the office of the clerk, all on December the 8th, 2025. Copies of said notice were made available to members of the general public.
And roll call, please.
Mayor Conley.
Here.
Ms. Ehrlich. Mr. Landrigan.
Here.
Mr. Range.
Here.
Mr. Haralampoudis.
Here.
Ms. Honahan.
Here.
Mr. Forte.
Here.
And to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, we have the Madison Harding Area Girl Scouts.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now for the singing of the national anthem, we will bring in Spotlight Kids.
By the dawn's early light.
seated. Welcome all. Turn on my microphone too.
Recognize volunteers that are stepping down after at least 5 years of service. Is Ann Huber here? Come on up. And thank you for your service to the Planning Board and also the Environmental Commission. She served from 2017 through 2025 and now 2026 as the Environmental Commission representative to the Planning Board, bringing passion for both environment and good plan to Madison, your insight, and with the meetings and various applications. We're greatly appreciated. Thank you for your service. Peter Tashima, catch up with, as I know him as Pistol Pete, used to play softball with him. But he served the Utility Advisory Committee from 2020 through 2025. And now, I'd like to bring up Russ Stern. So, Downtown Development Commission, 2011 through 2025. That's amazing stretch. Yeah. That's a lot of Bottle Hill days. Just mentioned a few beer gardens in there that he helped lead. But just your advice and counsel to running one of the best downtowns in the state. If I could have we have members of the ambulance corps here in the audience, please come forward. I know Jim Wynn, I think I saw Jim, Manuel Corte, Bill List, Michelle Goodwin, Kathy and Jim McGrath, Caitlin, JJ, Isha, Rachel, Mortensen, Tim Fawcett, Claire Seibert. We were bringing this group up here for special recognition. I don't have enough medallions, so I apologize for that. But just a little history. In 1954, a group of dedicated volunteers formed the Madison Volunteer Ambulance Corps with the goal of providing first responder support to Madison. This was long before you could dial 911 when you needed help. And it was probably before the EMT was ever in the lingo, I'm believing. So it's quite a long time ago. And with land donated by Geraldine Dodge, they built their own headquarters with volunteers. One of those volunteers was a young Jack Lutz, who was volunteering back then and is still volunteering today. And over the years, the Corps provided 24/7, 365-day coverage and answering well over 50,000 calls when Madison needed help. At their peak, they had, I don't know exactly how many, but well over 50 volunteers, I believe. But as we entered the 21st century, life was changing and volunteer ranks across ambulance and fire departments across our country were dwindling. And the Madison Volunteer Ambulance Corps was not immune to this trend. And in 2026, the last of the volunteers that you see up here have decided it was time to officially disband, but not necessarily officially stopping support. We'll be volunteering in various aspects. As I said, they will continue to help in our new world, but without the same support we had of yesteryear. The people that are standing here right now represent not only the support provided over recent years, but the hundreds of volunteers who answered the call for over 70 years. I think just take a moment to recognize what spouses of any volunteers to remain standing. Everyone else sit down for a second. Spouses remain standing. Yep. Brian, yes, that includes you, Brian. And I think we have the auxiliary in the audience too. Please stand. These are also supporters. To be a spouse of someone that's ready to answer a call any time of day and night, you are part of it. Behind the scenes, raising money, running the raffles, doing everything possible to make the ambulance corps functional. You were part of it. So thank you. Let's have another round of applause. All right, as the torch is passed to the fire department and the per diem EMTs, we want to thank the decades of support the Madison Volunteer Ambulance Corps has provided. As part of the transition, the ambulance corps building has transferred to the borough. And the officers of the ambulance corps, who are standing right here, had one request, and that was to name the building in honor of one volunteer, one who has answered the call for over 60 years, one who gave endless hours, including assisting the building.
Oh boy, do I hate secrets. Yeah, well, it is. Don't forget, I'm just one of 400 people that built that building. 400. Many of them retired from jobs, others giving up time from work, and then a few youngsters, such as myself. Nancy, shame on you.
Before we get to the oath of offices, I want to recognize some dignitaries we have in the audience, and I'm going to ask for them, some of them to come up and say a few words. We have Kelly Doucette, the Chief Operating Officer for the state of New Jersey. Kelly. Representing us in Trenton, we have our State Senator Anthony Bucco and Assemblywoman Ora Dunn. And Assemblywoman-elect Marissa Sweeney. And our commissioners, Typhoon Celine and Christine Myers. And before we get to the oath, I'd like our state team want to come up and say a few words. Standing in the doorway there, Sheriff Gannon, welcome. Thank you.
Great to be in the Rose City. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Now, we've had the honor to have Mikey Sherrill join us for previous reorganization meetings under her previous appointment. So it's a great pleasure to welcome Governor-elect Mikey to administer the oaths of office. Your work in Washington on behalf of Madison and NJ11 and the state is greatly appreciated. No pressure, but you have set a high bar as you move on to leading our state. We expect great things when Madison is here to support our helicopter pilot in New Jersey in the coming years.
Felt I couldn't come to the City of Roses without offering a tribute to our mayor. It's wonderful to be here today in Madison. Truly, as you've heard, a fantastic, fantastic city that to me represents so much of what it is to be New Jersey. This volunteer appreciation and the volunteer effort we've seen today is exactly what we see at its best from our citizenship. And the other thing we're going to see today that I'm so excited about is people who have chosen to serve the public as elected officials who will take the oath. I have taken the oath to our Constitution since the time I was 18 years old. That was the first time I did it when I entered the Naval Academy. I've administered it even today multiple times, and yet each and every time it gives me chills. And it gives me a great deal of pride to see all of the people in our state who are willing to step up, to give of themselves and their time to serve all of the community members. So it's truly a special, special moment here. I want to thank the mayor. You have such a gem here in Mayor Conley. You may not realize it, but he was the head of all the mayors across the state and really led in that aspect. And has just turned over that responsibility. I'm really looking forward to our swearing in. We have so many great elected officials and our chairwoman, and it's just wonderful to see people from both sides of the aisle. In fact, I was yesterday doing a swearing in the deep south of Cumberland County, and as I was down there, I was reminding someone who is on the other side of the aisle of how well we work together here in Morris County to deliver for people. Because whether it is the 44 units of housing that the mayor built here that I worked to get money for in Congress, or addressing the rash of auto thefts, or the Drew Forest that we worked at the federal, state, and local level to preserve, there are a lot of issues that just affect families here. And while we have our differences, and I'm sure you'll hear a lot about them, what maybe sometimes doesn't get as much news is all of those times which we work together. Because at our hearts, we are public servants to the American people, to the people of New Jersey, to the people of Madison. So that is really something I think we've seen over the years, certainly I've seen over the years in my time as a member of Congress, and hope to continue to see as I become the governor. But thank you all so much. It is really wonderful to be here, and I will turn it over now so we can get to the part that you've all come to see in our swearing-ins. Thank you.
We'll bring Tom up. Yep. And Tom's family. I feel much better. Yep. Deb Coen and family.
have the council members, why don't you come on behind here. Usually I have copies of this so our council members can take turns, but I wasn't quite organized this year. But whereas Rachel Ehrlich has served the Borough of Madison as council member for 2 terms from January 1, 2020 through December 31st, 2025, which time she served as council president in 2025. Whereas during her term of office, Councilwoman Ehrlich served as chair and co-chair of Utilities, Public Works, Finance, Public Safety co-chair, Community Affairs co-chair, Finance clerk and clerk co-chair. She has served on the following committees, boards, and commissions: Climate Action Committee, which she created, Complete Streets Committee, Environmental Commission, Housing Authority, Joint Meeting Finance Personnel, Joint Municipal Court Committee, Local Emergency Planning Council, Master Plan Committee, Municipal Audit Committee, Parks Advisory Committee, Planning Board, Shade Tree Management Board, Sustainable Madison Advisory Committee, Utilities Advisory Committee. And whereas shortly after Rachel moved to Madison with her husband Jeremy and son Julian, second row right there, she joined the Planning Board where her expertise as a licensed architect was a huge benefit to the community. And whereas Rachel understands the importance of smart development, her knowledge of affordable housing and energy efficient design has been invaluable with large borough projects like the Forum at Madison and the ongoing renovation of the Heller Center. And whereas Rachel has also been committed to making Madison roads safer for motorists, cyclists, and pedestrians. And for herself, she won't be riding her e-bike for a while, but it is her passion. And that led to her service on the Complete Streets Committee. Rachel has served extensively with Madison Environmental Commission, Shade Tree Management Board, and Sustainable Madison Advisory Committee to make Madison a leader in environmental issues. And whereas Rachel is passionate about addressing climate change both locally and globally, she was instrumental in the formation of Climate Action Committee, which sets goals for Madison to combat climate change and its impacts. The committee's annual report, which includes action items, helps keep our community accountable and reinforces our commitment to securing a safe and stable future for the current and future generations. And whereas the Borough of Madison has benefited greatly from Rachel's thoughtful approach to problem solving and her willingness to devote countless hours to meetings and community events. And whereas Rachel would like to acknowledge all the volunteers who have given generously of their time and talents to make Madison a better place for all residents, she extends her gratitude to the residents of Madison for giving her the opportunity and honor to serve as an elected member of the Borough Council. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the governing body of the Borough of Madison, County of Morris, and State of New Jersey wishes to extend its appreciation to Councilwoman Rachel Ehrlich for her dedication and professionalism. We are hopeful and confident, and we know she will continue to work to keep improving our community for all residents. Since she will still be serving on committees and we want to make sure she will be on time for our meetings, we are giving her a clock. Computer box with a
Thank you so much, Mayor. Thank you to my council colleagues for this recognition and this honor. Ray and Jim, Liz, Michael, and all the staff that prepared for this special occasion, thank you for your planning and your hard work. And thank you to the community members here today and watching at home who are sharing in this transitional event where we show year after year how we literally get organized to run the borough for the coming year. Later, we will hear of each and every committee, commission, and board that is formed to help the borough do good work in 2026. I deeply love how this reorganization meeting demonstrates so vividly that volunteers partner with our borough administration, our knowledgeable department heads, our expert professionals to accomplish important goals for our community. It shows us how civic engagement, volunteerism, and community pride help us achieve meaningful actions that improve Madison and offer inspiring examples for other communities to follow and learn from. Now, since this is my last chance at the soapbox, I want to share some stark moral clarity. I want to say that our country is run and our public life is dominated by corrupt and murderous people. I believe, and all of us here before you believe, that America and Americans are better than this. In this time of reckless and destructive federal actions, it is so important that we demonstrate that small groups of volunteers can work together to get meaningful work done. It's important that we build trust in competent, decent, compassionate governance, the kind that we demonstrate here in Madison. People who believe in decency must be as passionate and active as those who seek to undermine and bankrupt decency, criminal mayhem, corruption, and contempt for life and liberty. And so I want to thank my council colleagues and the mayor for their leadership, energy, and the hard work they do in the spotlight and behind the scenes. Thank you to the borough administration, our talented staff and professionals, and our department heads who continually strive for excellence. And thank you sincerely to the volunteers I've had the privilege of working with over the last 6 years. Your tenacity, creativity, and commitment are inspiring. And they are critical to show that we can do important and complex things to improve our community and our world. It has been my great honor to serve Madison, and especially to do so in the company of so many talented and caring people. We will keep the torch of good governance and compassionate leadership alive here in Madison. It is all the more important, crucial in these dark times that we face. I am so grateful to have been a part of this work. Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Conley,
Here?
Mr. Landrigan,
Here.
Mr. Range,
Here.
Mr. Haralampoudis,
Here.
Ms. Honahan,
Here.
Mr. Forte,
Here.
Ms. Coen.
Welcome all. And I want to thank Pastor Mark Scholl of United Methodist Church for the invocation, a great message to start the year with. And also as our great volunteers, the ambulance corps file out, thank you again for your dedication. I want to thank the Police Honor Guard for presentation of colors, and of course a big thank you to the Spotlight Kids for singing the national anthem again this year. They raised the level of the annual Drew Forest Holiday Carol, so it's great to have a tradition at the annual reorganization meeting too. And I welcome you all who are attending in person and watching from home. And a special welcome to the family and friends of Tom Haralampoudis and Deb Coen. Tom, as you start your second term, and for Deb, as you return to the council. Tom, congratulations, and Deb, welcome home. As we enter 2026, we do it with discussions on social media that Madison is changing. It is with this in mind that we had a town hall meeting last month to share some of the forces behind the drive of change, especially as it relates to residential development. The reality is, Madison has forever been changing and evolving and always preserving community. It must be noted that change is not avoided, it is managed. Whether you've been here for 5 years, or 65 years, that's my category, or 7 or more generations, that's Jim's category, we have all seen change, and our love of our community has remained strong. To put change in perspective, let me take a few visits down memory lane, at least through my memories. Shortly after I left elementary school, the Board of Education opened the 5th Madison Elementary School. Just think of that, 5 elementary schools. That was Torrey J. was opened up at that time, creating a town truly of neighborhood schools. You can imagine the disappointment when a few years later it was announced that Green Village Road School would be closed, and then that Lucy DeAnthony School was closed. I'm sure the feeling in our town was that it would never be the same. And while we only have 3 elementary schools today, we have pride for each of our schools, as we did in yesteryear, all providing great education. And also, in our recognition of the Ambulance Corps, we have heard how volunteerism has changed. The scores of volunteers who fought fires, provided first responder support, and assisted the police department have dwindled. The dedication is still there, the availability of time is not. We must find ways to revitalize our volunteer ranks. And another great spot to understand change in our community is the corner of Kings Road and Prospect Street, which has really drastically changed. If you go back before my time, it was the home of Morris Coal and Lumber, supplying much of the coal that once heated Madison homes. It was converted to a parking lot. I'm sure there's much pushback on taking the old lumber yard out and creating a parking lot. And then when the police and fire outgrew their headquarters in Hartley Dodge, it was proposed that a new building would be built on the site. And the pushback then was such a building there would be out of place at that corner. It is now a part of our streetscape. You drive past it every day and just think about the great work that's done in there. You don't think about it not being in place. And of course, the mention of coal serves as a reminder that we have come a long ways in the area of eliminating dirty energy sources. We can be proud of, and it's a reminder to be proud of our Climate Action Committee, setting an example for communities across the state. And I'm sure in the 1950s, the assumption was that Geralda Farms would always be a grand estate. If not for Geraldine Rockefeller Dodge, then for some other resident of great means. Upon her passing, it became one of the most beautiful corporate parks in the country, answering Geraldine's desire that remain on the tax rolls of Madison. But now as the office market has collapsed, it is shifting to a new life that includes medical, office, and residential, evolving into yet a new Geralda Farms. And for those that have been here for decades, we all have fond memories of our downtown. The single-screen movie theater, the 3 hardware stores, not only a Woolworths in the center of town, but a second one in the Madison Plaza. Yeah, I'm old. There were a multitude of places you could buy clothing: Miller's, Kurt's, Catherine Early, the Locker Room, to mention a few. One thing that hasn't changed is you could buy footwear from Suburban Shoes, so there are some things that are consistent all these years. But now we have screens in our dens that are better than what were in the Madison Theater in its final days. Yes, times have changed. As downtowns have shifted to from retail to service, we continue to have a thriving business core, albeit one that is becoming the coffee capital of New Jersey. We can continue to see successful retail, but also we are known as a place where you can visit an arts center, enjoy a great meal, especially since the shot and beer taverns of 50 years ago have become great restaurants, another change of the times. And talking about our downtown, there's Waverly Place, the true center of our town, designed over 125 years ago to be a gathering place with a great amount of space put between the buildings on either side of the street. There was quite a bit of controversy 50 years ago when the angle parking was eliminated. But as we look at it now, the power line's buried, the beautiful Christmas tree on the island, we can't think of a better center of town, but maybe we can. In the coming months, we'll be sharing design options with stakeholders, followed by a town hall meeting as we look at Waverly Place, the one that will serve us for the next 50 years. Another great memory for generations is that of our pool, one of our great assets. for over 60 years, has been a place for Madison families to gather, to escape in the heat of summer, to play with friends. There is something else that is changing, as the borough will be running it this year with the goal of handing it over to a new entity in 2027. Things can be the same and things will change. And another thing that will be changing is, in order to save an amazing historic forest, yes, there will be some development on the Drew campus, but that, again, is part of how Madison moves forward. You know, this trip down memory lane has reminded us much has changed over the years, but much has remained the same. Our great neighborhoods, tree-lined streets, amazing sense of community. We all have our different reasons on how we ended up in this amazing place we call home, but the reason we stay are consistent. We love what Madison was, we love what Madison is, and we love what Madison can be. So thank you all, and a happy and healthy new year to all. I now call for a nomination for Council President.
Mayor, I nominate John Forte for Council President.
I second that.
Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Landrigan?
Yes.
Mr. Range?
Yes.
Mr. Haralampoudis?
Yes.
Ms. Honahan?
Yes.
Mr. Forte?
Yes.
Ms. Coen?
Yes.
Congratulations, Council.
All right, John.
Thank you very much.
I would like to make the following appointments for council standing committees for the year 2026. Community Affairs, Chair John Forte, Vice Chair Debra Coen. Finance Borough Clerk, Eric Range, Vice Chair John Forte. Health, Chair Debra Coen, Vice Chair Bob Landrigan. Public Safety, Chair Bob Landrigan, Vice Chair Tom Haralampoudis. Public Works and Engineering, Chair Thomas Haralampoudis, and Vice Chair Melissa Honahan. Utilities, Chair Melissa Honahan, Vice Chair Eric Range.
Mayor, I move the confirmation of the foregoing appointments.
Second. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
I'd like to make the following appointment borough officials. Borough Attorney Matthew Giacobbe, Esquire. Housing Authority Ryan Fury. Zoning Officer Dennis Harrington. Deputy Zoning Officers James Savage and Ryan Fury.
Mayor, I move the confirmation of the foregoing appointments.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to make the following appointments that are not subject to council confirmation. Environmental Commission, 3-year term through December 31st, 2028. Kristen Wallenstein, regular member. Claire Whitcomb and Aaron Contini. 2-year term through December 31st, 2027. Trina Malik, alternate 2 member. 1-year term through December 31st, 2026. Claire Whitcomb as chair, and Bridget Daly as a Shade Tree Management Board rep. And associate members Stephen Stockert, Kate Dugan, and Colette Kreskis. And for 1-year term as council liaison, Thomas Haralampoudis. And then to the Historic Preservation Commission, 4-year term through December 2029, John Sulu, Class B regular. Unexpired 4-year term through December 31st, 2028, Chris Kellogg, Class A regular. And 1-year term as council liaison, John Forte. And I'd like to make the following appointments to the Planning Board. For a 4-year term through December 31st, 2029, Austria Bailey, Class 4 member, and Rachel Ehrlich, Class 4 member. And for an unexpired 3-year term through December 31st, 2026, Aaron Contini, Class 4 Environment Commission representative. I now ask for a nomination for Planning Board representative by the council.
Mayor, I move the appointment of Eric P. Range, Council Liaison, Class 3, to the Planning Board for a 1-year term through December 31st, 2026.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to make the appointments to special positions requiring council confirmation, and these are all 1-year terms through December 31st, 2026. Board of Education liaison, Bob Landrigan. Chamber of Commerce liaison, John Forte. Historian, Scott Spelker. Madison Housing Authority Council liaison, Melissa Honahan. Joint Meeting Finance Personnel Committee, Eric Range and Melissa Honahan. Joint Municipal Court, Bob Landrigan, Eric Range, Museum of Early Trades and Crafts, Deb Coen, Madison Y Liaison, Deb Coen, Shared Services Board of Education Committee, Mayor Robert Conley, Robert Landrigan, John Forte, Whippany River Watershed Action Committee, Melissa Honahan.
Mayor, I move the approval of the foregoing appointments.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I ask that Council President Forte announce the mayor's appointments for the following areas.
For the Board of Health, a 4-year term through December 31st, 2029, Cassandra Sledge, regular member, Kevin McCarthy, regular member. 1-year term through December 31st, 2026, Debra Coen, council liaison. To the Climate Action Committee, 1-year term through December 31st, 2026, Sustainable Madison Advisory Committee members Peter Freed, Mary Ellen Hennessy-Jones, Kathleen Cacavalli, and Rachel Ehrlich. To the Madison Environmental Commission members Kirsten Wallenstein, 1-year term through December 31st, 2026, Melissa Honahan, council liaison. Community Garden Advisory Committee, 3-year term through December 31st, 2028, Brent Filippi, Katie Sutton, Stephen McCullough, Brian Monahan. 1-year term through December 31st, 2026, Thomas Haralampoudis, council liaison. Mayor, I move the approval of the foregoing appointments.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I now ask Mr. Landrigan to announce the mayor's appointments for the following areas.
Complete Streets Committee, 1-year term through December 31st, 2026. Mayor ex officio Robert Conley, Public Safety Council Liaison Robert Landrigan, Engineering Council Liaison Eric Range, Borough Engineer James Savage, Director of Public Works Robert Duffy, Madison Police Representative Captain Joseph Longo, Board of Education Rep, Public Schools Rep John Eschman, Director of Building of Business Development Lisa Ellis, Sustainable Madison member Kathleen Cacaval, Resident Paul Daly, Resident Doug Weiss, Resident Jeff Thomas. Downtown Development Commission, 3-year term through December 31st, 2028. Robert Rocco, merchant, landlord owner, Rachel Morgeson, at-large representative, and a Board of Education representative. Unexpired 3-year term through December 31st, 2026. George Crontus, at-large rep, Timothy Connolly, at-large rep. 1-year term through December 31st, 2026. John Forte, council liaison. Library trustees, 5-year term through December 31st, 2030. Thomas Bittinger, trustee. Joseph Rippel, trustee. 1-year term through December 31st, 2026. Maureen Byrne as alternate to the mayor.
Mayor, I move the approval of the foregoing appointments.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Before we move on to the next thing, I brought to my attention, because I'm new to this job, that we missed number 12 on the agenda, which is the adoption of the council bylaws. I have a motion to adopt the bylaws for 2026.
Mayor, I move that the bylaws be adopted as the bylaws of the governing body of the Borough of Madison for the year 2026.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. And now I ask that Mr. Range announce the following mayor's appointments in these areas.
For the Local Emergency Planning Council for 2026, Mayor Robert H. Conley, Council Liaisons Robert Landrigan and Thomas Haralampoudis, Administrator Raymond M. Cody, Assistant Borough Administrator and CFO James Burnett, Assistant Borough Engineer Dennis Harrington, Construction Official Russ Brown, Director of Public Works Robert Duffy, Electric Utility Superintendent Vince Patty, Fire Chief Kyle Wickman, Health Officer Megan Avalone. Auxiliary Police Sam DiMarzo, Madison Chatham Joint Meeting Superintendent Chris Maniak, OEM Coordinator Police Chief John Mitcha, OEM Deputy Coordinator and Public Information Officer Captain Joseph Longo, OEM Assistant Coordinator Mike Shagrew, Public Information Officer Michael Polissier, School Resource Officer Peter G. Frank, and Secretary Christy Keel. For the Madison Alliance Addressing Substance Abuse, for a 3-year term through December 31st, 2028, Libby Martola, Madison Junior School Rep, Victoria Buckley, Project Pride, and SRO Thomas Downs will serve as chairperson. and a one-year term through December 31st, 2026, Debra Coen, Council Liaison. To the Municipal Audit Committee, 3-year term through December 31st, 2028, Arthur Powell, regular member, and Michael Martinez, regular member, and for a one-year term through December 31st, 2026, Eric Range, Council Liaison.
Mayor, I move the approval of the foregoing appointments.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
I ask Mr. Haralampoudis to announce the mayor's appointments in the following areas.
For Open Space, Recreation, and Historic Preservation Advisory Committee, 3-year term through December 2028, Christine Boyle, regular. Unexpired 3-year term through December 2026, Leslie McDonald, regular. 1-year term through December 2026, Debbie Mantone. Parks Advisory Committee Rep, George Limbach, Planning Board Rep. Mitchell Horn, Recreation Committee Rep. Brian Monahan, Shade Tree Management Board Rep. Corrine Bowen, Environmental Committee Rep. Mary Ellen Lenahan, Historic Preservation Committee Rep. Mayor Robert Conley, ex officio. Melissa Honahan, Council Liaison. For the Parks Advisory Committee, 1-year term through December 31st, 2026. Rebecca Bertrand, Thomas Crimmins, Debbie Mantone, Dan O'Brien, Christina Pindar, John Taylor, Jeffrey Thomas, Carrie Tierney, and Thomas Haralampoudis, Council Liaison. Patriotic Celebrations Committee, 1-year term through December 2026. Ron DiBiase, Maureen Byrne, Peter Fleming Sr., Thomas Granado, Wayne Henderson, Thomas Mattias, Michael Piano, and Robert Landrian, Council Liaison.
Mayor, I move the approval of the foregoing appointments.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I now ask Councilwoman Honahan to announce the mayor's appointments in the following areas.
Recreation Advisory Committee, 1-year term through December 31st, 26. Kara Burns, Field Hockey. Nina Coviello, Football. Zach Ellis, ex officio Recreation Director. Mitchell Horn, at large. Edward Hushon, Ice Hockey. Christopher Holland, Basketball. Bob Macagnano, Soccer Club. Mike Martinez, Softball. Josh Murray, Boys Lacrosse. Tom Packey, Wrestling. Sean Polk, ADA PPEC Rep. Jamie Vicola, Girls Lacrosse. Ken Ware, Little League Baseball. Tom Haralampoudis, Council Liaison. Safety Committee, 1-year term through December 31st, 26. Borough Administrator, Borough Engineer, Chief Financial Officer, Electric Utility Superintendent, Fire Chief, Health Officer, Joint Meeting Superintendent, Police Chief, Personnel Director, Recreation Director, Director of Public Works, and Bob Landrigan, Council Liaison. Shade Tree Management Board, 5-year term through December 31st, 2030. Jean Krakovia, regular. Unexpired 5-year term through December 31st, 29. Elizabeth Fontaine, regular. Unexpired 5-year term through December 31st, 26. Kirsten Wallenstein, Alt 1. 1-year term through December 31st, 26. Tom Haralampoudis, Council Liaison.
Mayor, I move the approval of the foregoing appointments.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I ask Councilwoman Coen to announce the following mayor's appointments in these areas.
The Sustainable Madison Advisory Committee, 3-year term through December 31st, 2028. Susan Bailey and Anna Bradshaw, regular members. 1-year term through December 31st, 2026. Deanna Schmidt, Environmental Commission Rep. Robert Duffy, Director of Public Works. Tom Haralampoudis, Council Liaison. Utilities Advisory Committee, 3-year term through December 31st, 2028. Kathy Daly, Jeffrey Kerr, Catherine Sewell, all regular members. 1-year term through December 31st, 2026. Melissa Honahan, Council Liaison. Zoning Board of Adjustment, 4-year term through December 31st, 2029. Anthony Delano, regular member. Matthew Salco, regular member. 2-year term through December 31st, 2027. Michael Dillon, Alt 1. Unexpired 2-year term through December 31st, 2026. John Halgren, Alt 2.
Mayor, I move the approval of the foregoing appointments.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now we move on to communications and petitions.
None received, Mayor.
And now we open, this is part of the invitation for public comment. This is when you may comment on any topic. We ask that you step up to the lectern, state your name and address, write the same on the clipboard. Try to keep your comments to 3 minutes, but we give you that 1-minute grace period and stop you at 4. Anyone wishing to comment, please step forward. Seeing none, I close this part of the meeting. And we now move on to consent agenda resolutions. Would the clerk please read this statement?
Consent agenda resolutions will be enacted with a single motion. Any resolution requiring expenditure is supported by a certification of availability of funds. Any resolution requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda. All resolutions will be reflected in full in the minutes.
Mayor, I move adoption of resolutions R1-2026 through R40-2026.
Second.
Any council discussion? Good. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Landrigan?
Yes.
Mr. Range?
Yes.
Mr. Haralampoudis?
Yes.
Monahan?
Yes.
Ms. Forte?
Yes.
Ms. Coen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Coleman, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mayor, I motion that we adjourn the meeting.
Second, and all in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you very much, and Happy New Year.
Fantastic. Oh, boy, I better turn that off.